Hello my baby, hello my darling, hello my ragtime gal. Okay, yeah, singing is not my thing. Welcome to this week's flute tip of the week. My mom went home to Canada yesterday, and I gotta say, it kind of feels a little bit weird being in my apartment on my own again after being in close quarters with someone for the last week. But I also remember that I am the queen of my own domain, and so the work must go on. I still have my hamster, and my 2 Japanese peace lilies, and my cactus. Anyway, enough about me, let's get to the flute. Play in Play the Flute is exactly what it means. If we weren't meant to play the flute like we were playing a game, then it would be called working a flute. This is something really important for everyone to remember because a lot of the time you see people who graduate from conservatories or very intensive programs who have lost their inner fire for it or have started to think of it as a job that they have to do, and they are losing their love for their instrument and for making music. I know quite a few people who ended up quitting their instruments after doing conservatory studies because they felt that it was too much work, because they realized, oh, this isn't something I want to be pushing myself towards my whole life. It makes me really sad to see that happen. You see someone working for so long on something that they started off loving so much, and to find that they end up leaving after what are supposed to be the greatest years of your life, I can't imagine doing that. When I realized that even talking about playing the flute is like talking about playing a video game, you have to bring that inner joy to it. There are all these different levels you have to break once you're actually playing the flute. First you have grasslands, you are just jumping from the different rocks and you have to hit the question marks so that you can get coins. And then you go into the underground level and you learn about technique and you learn about practicing scales, and you have to fight with Bowser, who is probably just a diminished 7th arpeggio in like 3rd inversion. And then you get to the boss levels where you have to beat the giant mechanisms and you have to audition for orchestra. And what's fantastic about music is that you can take a break from story mode and you can end up doing multiplayer. You've got your chamber music, you are able to teach, you can do composition to include other people. Music is really one of the great embodiments of social understanding and development. This is very similar to one of my last tips where I was talking about nostalgia. You've got to remember that playing your instrument, that playing the flute, really it is the greatest game of all. You always feel so happy when you're able to say that you're the next level. Now you're not beginner, you're intermediate. Now you're advanced, now you're expert. Now you're masterful. Except you'd never get to masterful unless you're James Galway and have a knighthood under you. So until I get a knighthood, I am still just on, hopefully, expert level. It is important to just remember that playing includes fun, it includes learning. This is why recess is important for children. You've just got to be able to incorporate every part of your being to be able to do this. Otherwise, what's the point? Why do you do? Again, that tip was play in Play the Flute is exactly what it means. If we weren't meant to play the flute like we play a video game, it would be called working the flute. I really hope that this tip gets people to think a bit. Let's talk about some of our favorite games. My games, personally, were Super Mario and Pokemon. And so now I always think about getting different technical abilities as my Pokemon evolving or something like that. Anyway, I'll be seeing you next time. Flute happy, and just keep playing. Just enjoy it. Couldn't really think of anything to add for my last little video bit, but here's a really cute picture my guitar partner gave to me because, you know, music frenzies.